Dear listeners, today in the new episode of Storytime we have a new story as per below. This one is raw, layered, and heavy. It's about family, expectations, wounds that never fully healed, and the courage it takes to finally draw lines in the sand after years of swallowing your pain. It's about me, 28 years old, newly married, and the first time in my life that I truly stood up to my dad. When I look back, my earliest memories of my father are bittersweet. My parents divorced when I was 5, and almost immediately after, my dad moved in with the woman who would become my stepmother. From then on, I lived mostly with my mom, visiting my dad every other weekend and half of the school holidays. The best part of those weekends wasn't the time in the house, it was the drive to and from. Just me and him, alone, talking, or sometimes just sitting quietly while music played. It felt like those drives were ours. But the rest of the time? I was swallowed by his new life, his wife, her 2 children, the chaos of their home, the constant sense that I was an outsider passing through someone else's story. Over the years, I learned to accept scraps of attention. A smile here, a nod there. I told myself this was just life, that I was lucky to have anything at all. And maybe that's why, decades later, his refusal to show up when I needed him most hurt so deeply. Fast forward to now. I'm grown. Married. My wife and I just bought a house, one of those milestone moments where you imagine your parents showing up, proud, present, standing by your side. So I asked my dad if he could come see it with me. I thought it could be a way for him to share in my joy. His answer? Just trust the estate agent. I don't have time. I might need to babysit your stepsister's kids. He babysits them constantly, complains about how draining it is, but somehow that mattered more than being there for me. And in that moment, something broke. I felt invisible again, like I had been for years. I felt pushed aside, like I didn't matter as much as everyone else in his life. It wasn't just about the house, it was about everything I had been carrying since I was 5 years old. So I told him the truth. Maybe more than I had ever told him. I said, "It's not personal, but I don't want your wife in my home. She's always been mean to me. You're welcome to come by yourself." He got offended. Shocked. As if this was new information. As if I hadn't been treated poorly by her for 23 years. He said I needed to let go of the past. But the thing is, the past is never really past when you carry it in your body, when the echoes of cruelty still ring in your ears. I gave him examples, real ones, painful ones. How, when I was 5 or 6, she told me I was too fat for ballet. How at 10, she forced me to wax my legs and armpits because she didn't want me to ruin her wedding pictures. I can still remember the pain, the humiliation, the sense that my body wasn't mine. How at 14, when I came out, she suggested I sleep with men just in case it turned me straight. How she mocked gay marriage, undermined my achievements, criticized my body for being too big at 16 and then too skinny at 18. How she sneered at my choices, trashed my vegetarianism at dinner tables, but never once said a word when her son's girlfriend was vegetarian. Years of cold shoulders, little cruelties, digs that piled up until I couldn't ignore them anymore. And when I laid it all out for him? He laughed. He told me I was exaggerating. That I was well treated. That she didn't beat me, didn't starve me, so what did I really have to complain about? He excused everything. Brushed it all aside. And then he told me I was still his daughter, he loved me, but he wasn't going to see me without his wife. That laugh cut deeper than all the years of silence. Because in that moment, I realized something I'd probably known my whole life but hadn't dared to face: my dad would never, ever choose me over her. He wanted peace, he wanted easy, he wanted the version of me who smiled politely, who played along, who never made waves. Not the version of me who had found her voice through therapy, who had learned the power of boundaries, who dared to say, no more. And to him, that change wasn't growth. It wasn't healing. It was my wife's fault. He told me I wasn't his girl anymore because I didn't smile as much, because I didn't bend, because I finally stopped letting myself be walked all over. And then my brother stepped in. He told me I was screwing the family dynamic. That therapy was bullshit. That I was making things harder for Dad. My mom, too, said I'd changed this from the woman I had been parentified into taking care of for years. I was expected to put her needs before my own, always. Now that I no longer did, she felt abandoned. The chorus was loud. I should be more grateful. I should let things slide. I should keep the peace. But for once in my life, I didn't. I said no. I said I have the right to decide who is welcome in my home. I said I have the right to silence my phone after 8 p.m., to protect my peace, to set rules for my own life. I told them, I've been complacent long enough. This is my chance to live, really live. Accept it or don't, but I'm not bending anymore. And then came another storm, our wedding. My wife and I got married last Thursday. We kept it small, just us, our closest friends. 8 people total. No parents. No family. Because we knew what it would become if we invited them. Guilt trips. Pressure. Negative energy. Our day, which was meant to be about joy, would have been consumed by everyone else's feelings. So we didn't tell them. Instead, we said yes, cards afterwards. Beautiful cards, sealed in golden wax, with our photos inside. The reactions were mixed. My dad, surprisingly, had the kindest response. He texted me, "Thank you for the card. Be happy." Hugs and kisses. My mom called me crying. Said I hurt her. That she wished she had known. That she would have understood if I said it was friends only, but I know in my heart she would have tried to change my mind. She canceled dinner, said she needed time. My sister-in-law sent me a cruel text. She said I was cutting ties with my family. That she wouldn't keep the card. That I needed to really think about my decisions. Her words were sharp, judgmental, unfair. And I told her so. I said she had no right to speak to me that way. My brother, her husband, was gentler. He said it was surprising to find out by card, but he'd kind of expected it. He said we looked beautiful, happy. He told me not to cut contact with those who love me. And then my niece. 17 years old. She messaged me privately, said she was so happy for me, that we looked lovely, that she understood it was our day and we deserved to shape it however we wanted. She told me my brother had hidden the card so it wouldn't be thrown away. That message saved me. It reminded me that even in the chaos, even when people lash out, there are still voices of love, of understanding, of truth. Now, here I am. Married. Living with the consequences of finally speaking up. Some doors have closed. Some hearts have turned colder. But for the first time, I feel like I'm living as me, not the version everyone else wanted me to be. It's terrifying. It's liberating. It's messy. It's real. And yet, late at night, when the quiet settles, I still wonder. Am I protecting my peace, or am I burning too many bridges to keep it? Backhand index pointing right. Dear listeners, I leave you with this question: when family refuses to respect your boundaries, is it wiser to keep fighting for connection, or is it healthier to finally let go, even if it means standing alone? I am looking forward to your opinion in comments section below.